Oh, YouTube! So, sexism, feminism, ha! So, basically, I have been having quite a detailed and in-depth discussion with my friends because of some choice scenes in the Time of the Doctor. Specifically, Matt Smith being naked and making his companion be naked and be uncomfortable, smacking her ass and then kissing someone when they didn't want to. And I would agree that those aren't, that it's not the greatest of writing and that it could have been written differently, but I don't think it's such a big deal. And there's the rub. Because people do think it's a big deal, because this is Doctor Who, this is an institution, this is a 50-year-old show, it is aimed at children and adults, and people get influenced by this. You can't have the Doctor being sexist, you've got to write it differently. No. I'm sorry, but no. No, it should be right, it should be written better. It should be written better, and I would agree that it doesn't really service the plot that much. There is no reason for them to be naked. But at the same time, I feel that the smack joke, it's kind of deserved because it's these are two very good friends, and oh yeah, Chloe, she's got no personality and character development. She went inside the Doctor's time stream, okay? She knows everything about him and the Doctor knows it. Alright? They are the best of friends, right? And he knows that she knows he isn't gonna try anything, you know. She knows everything about him. She knows exactly what the Doctor is, because she has seen it all. She has seen every incarnation. And so, the Doctor is having a laugh with a mate, pretending to be a boyfriend by being inappropriate, because that's what some boyfriends do. Now, the issue is then, well, is this doing an impression on people? Is this affecting people? And to which I say, that should never come into it. That should never ever come into it. You should never write a story saying, this will affect someone. I mean, it's a TV program. It is a program about Cybermen and Daleks and regeneration and time travel and a massive space-time ship hidden inside a blue box. It's just slightly bigger than a toilet. It is not a great inspirational work that is supposed to inspire people and act as a role model to so many people. Yes, it is aimed at children to a certain extent. But again, until Moffat retconned the past, the Doctor killed many, many children. And in fact, so that you go back to the classic series, the Doctor has committed genocide against the Vervoids, and he has committed murder on numerous occasions. And I think generally saying that, oh well, you know, you can't, the Doctor can never smack a companion's ass, he can never kiss someone without consent, is kind of ignoring the fact that this man has killed. He has taken lives. He has scared people. He has tormented them. He has locked them into interminable hells that would make death a gift. And you say that we can never have the Doctor slapping a companion's arse or kissing someone without their consent. I agree. It's not great writing, and I would agree that it shouldn't be encouraged, and I would agree that ideally it should have been written out. But I will defend to the death the right for the Doctor to be sexist, to be racist, and to be homophobic, because you know what? He's a fucking alien. He is an alien who has murdered and maimed and left people in horrific situations, and we don't care because they're the bad guys. I think that's a worse attitude to have. I think telling people that, yeah, we can just go ahead and commit genocide against the evil people is marginally worse than saying, the woman who has been staring at your naked body, visibly excited by it, might actually want to be kissed. And yeah, I know that makes me sound like a sexist and stuff, but again, it's for there is a lot more blurrier lines when it comes to she was just checking him out, so, since he's naked, for the benefit of her, he's going to go along with it regardless because it's just a kiss, then he locks someone in a fate worse than death. Because this is it, right? This is the thing that people forget about Doctor Who. This is the thing that people forget about Doctor... Even the 10th Doctor, right? Even the Doctor who was in love with Rose. And who every woman loves, right? He sentenced aliens to fates worse than death. Okay? That's what he did. So, that's a damn sight worse than he has done. An alien assumed that the woman who had been flirting with him and checking out his naked body might actually want to be kissed. I mean, yes, she said no, and yes, that was stupid of him, but at the same time, I feel like it's more permissible than the fact that he has sentenced people to a fate worse than death. I mean, we kind of have to keep things in perspective here. Yes, I know, but sexist attitudes are stuff that could be replicated in a realistic setting, in a real life setting, with people, with children who grow up thinking that's normal, and okay, he has sentenced people to fates worse than death. Okay, the Doctor is the Veil Yard, the Dream Lord, the Time Lord victorious. Okay? The Time Lords are almost as bad as the Daleks, the Master, the Rani, the Meddling Monk, Rassilon in the End of Time. Okay? Heck, Christopher Eccleston's Doctor in Dalek. He was about to murder a poor helpless Dalek. And he tortured the fucker. And you're saying, yeah, but it's a children's show. They're torturing people. And yes, I understand if it's like incest and rape, then fair enough, that is a line. That is a line that should not be crossed, right? Totally cool with that. That is an objective line, and Robin Thicke is an arsehole for creating a song about the blurred lines of rape. Okay? But I think there is a vast difference between the blurred lines of do you want to have sex with me? And the blurred lines of, you have been staring at and sexually objectifying me, so I'm going to come on to you because you're hot. I mean, it's... in a way, ironically, and this is where I sound like a massive pricktard if I don't already, but in a way, you could so easily flip it. You could so easily flip it to where the doctor's female, naked, being stared at and objectified, but he doesn't care. He likes the attention, so, or she, whatever, and she kisses the person who is ogling them because they're interested. And yes, it is a case of explicitly no, but and yes, I realise it's a difficult standard set, and I realise that it shouldn't have been written that way, but I think it is justifiable. I think it is a justifiable area of confusion for a man who, even though he has a granddaughter, is unwilling to talk about how Amy and Rory made River Song. Okay? And considering that this man has murdered people, has left people for dead, has sentenced people to fates worse than death. Okay? And you've got Clara there as well. And she's... And the thing is, it's like, yeah, the doctor said... Another issue that was talked about was, well, Clara was freaked out about the fact that she would have to appear naked, but the holograms are there so that, you're not actually naked, but everyone can see you. To be fair, I think that was kind of a bit of idiocy on Clara's part, and yeah, I know, I'm victim blaming, but it's literally, the doctor says explicitly, this is a church where everyone has to go naked. Look, I'm naked to go to church. Oh, but if that freaks you out, I've got a pill that will make it look like to you that you're wearing clothes. And he shows it with himself. And the fact that he uses himself as an example first, perhaps he's not clear and he's not explicit about, well, obviously they won't be able to see you, but I think it's an understandable confusion. Again, I appreciate poor writing, shouldn't have been written that way, but I don't think it is a major issue of sexism. And then finally, right, the big issue for me, the big issue that has me kind of raging, really, is the whole, the doctor has removed Clara's agency by sending her off from dying of, even just old age. I mean, the fact is, that is a simple expedient of the fact that he has to age to death there. Okay, that is the story. The story is, he's on his last life. To make it mean something, the doctor is going to age to death. The doctor has passed 400 years without changing a day's worth of appearance, right? So in order to look like a really old man, a fuck of a long time has to pass, okay? If Clara stayed, she would be dead. That's just the fact of it. the only way that she lives to the end of the episode is if the Doctor says, sorry, but I'm gonna be trapped here for an awful fucking long time and I'm gonna die at the end of it. So off you go. Go back, have Christmas Day. And I don't think it's a horrific thing. I would agree that in, like, the parting of the ways, that's worse because he's literally saying, I am about to die fighting for the future of the human race. Go off into the past, you'll be fine. But the 11th Doctor sends Clara back to Christmas Day. Back to what she was already doing. Back to her family. Back to a joyous day. And they've already seen how the battle ends. So it's not like it's not like she's missing something. Okay? He is just saving her life. That is literally all he is doing. And yeah, it removes some of her agency. But if you think about it, the other way to write that is that Clara's a fucking coward. Because ultimately, the Doctor has to age to death for this story to work. Clara cannot age to death. But she can't, she has to be there throughout the story. So she has to go and keep coming back. Which means that she has to be sent away, come back, and then be sent away again, and then come back again. That's how the story has to work. Okay? And so the options are either she is a coward and runs because she wants that to happen, or it's that she wants to stay and help and be the good companion, but the Doctor is the better man and says, no, I don't want you to die. I mean, that's the thing. People, when feminists criticise works, they're not suggesting improvements, they're just saying this is wrong. When it's kind of the best of a bad situation, you know, because there isn't another way to write this story with Clara in it without the Doctor basically, without the Doctor doing just this. Okay, Clara could not be in it. It could literally be the Doctor slips out and then, like, maybe and then the Doctor slips quietly out for a moment, and then you spend the entire story with the priestess. That could work. And it might have worked better then, because then the whole flirtation would have worked. But then also you have, okay, how do you explain the fact that, how do you deal with the regeneration then? Where is Clara for that? And, you know, doesn't Clara deserve some, you know, time and character development? And again, the people who are saying, oh, but Clara's not had any character development. Moffat has had this plan for half a series about the mystery. The mystery gets resolved, then it's the 50th anniversary, then it's a Christmas special, and that's Smith's last story, and it's tying up the fact that the Doctor has no regenerations left. There are understandable writerly reasons why these things have happened. I agree they shouldn't have been done this way. I agree they could be written better. But I do not think it is a horrific and sexist thing. I think the horrific and sexist thing is that we do not have more female writers. That we have not had a female Doctor for, you know, 13 incarnations now. I mean, it would have been so brilliant if the War Doctor was a woman. Because it would have been a tremendous subversion. Yeah, I'm the War Doctor, but then again, the feminists would say, yeah, but then you're painting women to be evil because, you know, the one incarnation that kills millions of children, and it's a woman. And then you'd have people saying, oh, but no women would ever do that. No women would ever do that. And that's the thing, right? Feminists are like fans. Some feminists are like fanboys and girls in their innate ability to criticize and nitpick and utterly miss the point. And everybody hates me right now because I've made myself out to be a massive arsehole, but there is my defence of Time of the Doctor and Stephen Moffat in that regard. And let the arguments reign that I am a sexist pig, because, to be honest, that might be accurate. I don't know. I know I can't write women effectively, but this is me just saying, I understand and I don't think it's horrific.